Hi guys, welcome back for another video. I'm Jess and I'm one of the creative designers here at Sizzix, and today I am super excited because we are talking all things New Year. So if you guys are hosting or having a New Year's Eve party this year to bring in 2025, then you are in the right place because I'm going to make a series of projects using mixture of cardstock, tools, all sorts of fun things, and we're going to make things from cake toppers to our gorgeous rosettes, which can decorate any party space that you have. And then we're also going to show you guys how to make an invite so everybody knows where to go to celebrate with you this New Year's. So let's get started. Okay, so the first project I want to start with is one of the bigger ones, and that is this gorgeous rosette decoration. Now, these are super simple to pop together once you guys know what you're doing, and they look incredible. They can go in any party space, on the front of tables, anything like that. So what you're going to need is you're going to need our scoring board and trimmer tool. And then you're also going to need a selection of cardstock. Now I'm going for like a gold and navy blue theme. So I've got a mixture of some of our opulence in there and some of our plain cardstock as well. So I'm going to take a piece of our navy cardstock, and then I'm going to bring my tool into kind of scoring mode. So I'm going to pull up here, twist it down, and then it gives me a nice edge to butt my card up against. And then if you see, just as if I lift it up, in here, you have your fold and form tool. So this is going to be my scoring tool. So I'm literally going to put my card up against there, and then I'm going to make scores every 3 lines. So this is on the centimetre line, the centimetre kind of board. You can pull this out and turn it over and turn it into inches if you prefer, but I am working in centimetres. So every 3, so it's about 1.5 centimetres, and I'm literally going to have it there, and then every 3 I'm going to score along until I get to the very end. So I've gotten as far as I can kind of go, and then I tend to twist it around and then line up that score line there, and then just continue these last couple until I get to the very end. Now I'm going to pop it back into my cutting or trimmer mode, and what I'm going to do is I want to actually cut this in half. So I'm going to fold it and just make sure I've got the halfway mark, and then I'm going to trim along that fold. So I've split this into 2. So for each rosette, I'm going to move this out of the way. There we go. So you want 3 of these, so it's 1.5 pieces of A4 card, and you want them all scored in the same way. And what you want to do is you literally want to fold along those score lines in a concertina. So we'll fold one way, then the other way, and then back the other way. So one way, you can do it like this as well. You can fold it over, fold it, and use those score lines and keep folding until all of them are folded and you have all 3. It's really simple, really easy. You can even get the little ones involved in this process because it's all kind of done for them, which is great. So you want all 3 to look like that. So I'm going to do the other 2 and then we'll start to piece them together. Okay, so once you've got all 3 folded, they're obviously going to look like this. And now we want to attach them together in a big line. So I'm literally going to kind of level them up so they kind of slot into each other, and the continuation of that zigzag carries on, so we've not got anything out of place. And I'm just going to use, just bring my hot glue gun over. I'm just going to use my hot glue gun, and I'm literally just going to run a bit of hot glue and then place that in there and then hold that together. You can use like a strong double-sided tape or something like that for this stage, but you want to make sure it's really secure. So again, I'm going to place that like that. So again, it continues on that zigzag. And then once you have it in a big line, we want to join it up in a circle. So we're then going to take it like that, and we're going to join it up as a circle. So literally just like that. So, and I'm going to end up overlapping like a couple of the zigzags just so it kind of continues in that correct way that I want it. So you can see I've glued 2 there, and then they're going to sit. Careful your fingers, please. Don't worry if you've got a little bit of glue on there, it should come off. And secure like so, okay? Just gonna peel that off. Okay, so now we've got a big circle. And then what we're going to do is we're gonna pinch it all together and push it down. And that is where you can see the magic of the rosette kind of start to form, okay? It's gonna want to pop up, so just hold it down. And then what I like to do is I just take my hot glue gun and I place just a touch of glue in between each fold, just at the very center. And then I push it together and hold it together until all the glue is dry, okay? That's quite important. You don't wanna let it go while it's drying, because then it's not gonna form as tight as you need it to. So let's go all the way around. Just a little dab. Okay. And then I'm gonna push it as tight as I can make it, okay? So you want it really nice and tight, and we're gonna hold that in place until that's dry. And then we're gonna flip it over and do the same process on the other side so it's really nice and secure. Okay, so that is all dry, and I've done that on both sides. And you can see the hot glue, I've kind of put some on top as well on there. And it looks a little bit messy, but don't worry, because we're gonna place one of those stars over the top. But you can also put glue in the center as well, just to make sure it's nice and secure. So to cover up any of that mess, we're gonna take some of our star framelets, and I'm gonna cut these out. So I'm gonna use some of our gold glitter cardstock. And I'm gonna cut 2 of these out, one for the front and one for the back. And then we're gonna secure those in place. And then I'm going to take some of my numbers. So these are from one of Debbie Lightwood's fabulous sets. And I'm gonna cut out 2025. So you could do Happy New Year if you wanted to from a different die set, which I'm gonna show you that we'll use on the cupcake toppers. Or you can just do literally 2025, or you could keep them plain if you wanted to. You don't necessarily have to put anything on these, but I'm going to add a little bit of something. I'm gonna cut that all out, and then we'll piece it all together and finish off our rosette. So we've got our stars and our numbers cut out. Obviously, we just want to adhere those. So again, using my trusty hot glue gun, a nice chunk of glue on there, and then secure that in place, and that's going to cover up any mess we made, which is fantastic. And then I'm going to do one on the back as well, because if they're hanging, you're probably going to see the back. Now, most of these cards are double-sided in colour. The only ones that aren't are the glitter opulents. So, like this one here is not double-sided, so that's the only thing that you're going to have if you use something like that in your little rosette chain. But here we are. And then last but not least, I'm going to grab a little bit of glue and we're going to stick our 2025 down, and then it's super easy to attach onto your ribbon. Once that's nice and secure, you just want to take a hole punch, and I'm literally just going to punch 2 holes, 1 and 2, and then thread my ribbon through. So we've got ours here, and then I'm just going to thread this through the back, and you can add as many as you want, whatever space you have to decorate. Oh, I've got my number 2 on there that's come off. Just glue that back on. There we go. Yeah, as much space as you have, you can make a really long line of these and just keep going. This would also be really cute to decorate the front of a table or something like that, if you don't have a lot of space to work with. But there we have our rosette banner. How cute is that? We've got all different kinds of coloured cardstock that you can use, all different finishes anyway, and you could do whatever kind of colours you want. I just like the navy and gold, but super simple to pop together, and they look amazing, which is great. So they'll really make an impact at your party. So those are the rosette. Okay, so for the little cake toppers, we're still going with the same kind of colour scheme. We're still using the stars and the 25, like the numbers, and a couple of extra dies as well. But they're, again, super simple and easy to do. So you want to take the star. I've taken the one slightly down from the largest one, and we're going to cut 2 of those out in the navy cardstock, and then I'm going to use this die set, which is the All Occasions sentiment die set, and this is fantastic because you have like kind of occasions for everything, which is fantastic. And then I'm going to take, where's my New Year one? There it is. I'm going to take Happy New Year, and I'm going to die cut that from the gold cardstock as well. So we've got our stars and our sentiment. If you need to use a die pick to get them out and get the little bits out, you can do. And then we are going to take one of the stars. I'm going to bring back my scoring board and trimmer tool, and I'm going to score along the center points of the star. So to the center, you want to go to each point of the star, okay? And to do this, we're just going to align the top and the kind of bottom point, hold it in place, make sure it's in the middle. Might take a little bit of trial and error to make sure it's in the center. And then we're going to bring it back to the middle and stop there, and then we're going to twist it, make sure that's aligned, and bring it back to the center. So you can see how they're both meeting in that center point, and it means that we're going to have a perfect score to fold along so we can make our 3D star. So I'm going to spin this around and do every single point of the star. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm only going to do it on one side because I'm going to end up sticking my sentiment and my die cuts on the other side, so I want that to be flat. But then this one that we scored is going to go on the back, and we're going to fold along each of those score lines. So that we have a nice 3D star. How cute is that? It just adds a little bit of fun and a little bit more interest to it, I think, which is great. Now we're just going to finish off the front before we stick everything together. So I'm going to place my Happy New Year on the front here, and I'm just going to use a little bit of glue on the back. You could also use double-sided adhesive if you wanted as well. And don't worry that it goes over the edge of the star. I think that looks kind of cute. So we're just going to stick that in place, and then we're going to piece it all together. So that's all stuck in place. So now we can turn it over, and I'm just going to take a cocktail stick, nothing fancy, and I'm going to place a little bit of hot glue in the center at the bottom, secure my cocktail stick in place, and then I'm going to take my 3D star and I'm going to place this over the top. So I'm going to run some hot glue all around the edge of the star, and then I'm going to set it on top and align it. Now when you're securing this, don't push too hard because you don't want to flatten your little 3D star, but just make sure it's nice and secure, particularly at the corners. And then you have your little cake topper. So you can go to town and you can add sequins on there as well and decorate it a little bit more. You can do it in different coloured opulence as well. So we've got some of the pearl there, but you could use the glitter as well. And you can also use that number set that we used on the rosettes as well. But how cute are they? Perfect for adding a little bit of flair to your dessert table this new year. So we've done our rosettes, we've done our cake toppers, and now we are going to move on to our invite, because if we don't have an invite, how do people even know to attend your amazing New Year's party? So for our New Year's invite, I'm going to use all of the similar kind of colours and things like that. I've got most of my bits already cut out just to save a bit of time. And then we're also going to add a shaker element to make it a little bit more fun. Okay, so we're going to end up using some of these shaker panes. So I'm going to end up using the largest shaker pane in the circle set. And I'm just going to set up my kind of background to begin with. So I'm making a mess, I'm so sorry. So I've got my white cardstock, and then I've got some gold. So this is going to be my base, and then I'm going to place a little bit of gold just to add a thin line of shimmer around the edge. And obviously you can make these whatever kind of size you want. I've just measured mine kind of around that shaker pane. I'm not doing a very good job of lining this up. There we go. And then I'm going to take some of the pearl navy opulent and I'm going to place that on top. So we've just got that thin border of gold. Okay, so we have our base, and then what I've kind of done is I've taken a circle, and I've cut that just of white because I want this to be the background to my shaker pane element, because I think otherwise the sequins kind of get a little bit lost. So I wanted it to be white. And then I've actually secured my sequins inside the larger shaker pane. So they come with backs as well that you can attach. So you just fill it with your sequins. I've put a mixture of gold sequins in there, and I've also popped some little navy ones in there. And then I'm literally going to secure the white onto the back. Just again, oh, I'll do it on that side. So it's going to be that way. You don't need much kind of glue for this, so mostly around the edges. So now we've got a white background to our shaker pane, and then I'm going to secure that in place as well. So I've got another little bit that's going to go at the bottom with most of my information on, and I want to make sure that that sits with enough space for that, which I'm pretty happy that everything has enough space there. Okay. So you can also take a little bit of an extra circle. So this is the circle die set that works with the shaker panes, and you can just peel off that top layer and stick that on, and that is going to cover up that little bit there. And then we can start to add some of the extra little bits. So I've got my New Year, which I cut from that other die set that we used before. And then I've got my 20, 25 that I cut from that number die set. And that is going to sit on top of there using a little bit of glue. Or you can use some 3D foam pads, and that's going to just look like a kind of glittering disco ball. So I'm going to stick those in place, and then we'll come and pop our little bit at the bottom. Okay, so I've stuck everything on, and as you can see, it's now got that fun background, and we've got our New Year 2025 on there. And then last but not least, you just want any info that you need to give to your guests, like where it is, what time, all that fun stuff. And we're just going to place a little bit of the glitter navy cardstock. So I've got that, and then I've just printed my info out on there on a little bit of white cardstock, just so it shows up nice and boldly, so nobody's going to miss any of the information that you need to give them. And this is going to be the finishing touch to your invite. So framed by that little bit of glitter. You got all your info there. So we have our finished party invite. How cool is that? I think that's so cool, so fun. Anybody will be amazed to get that in the post and will be thrilled to come to your party. So you have your invite. We have our little cake toppers. Everything matches as well, which is very key in all of our colour schemes. And then we also have our rosette, so I'll just get that out again as well. Ooh. There we go. And then we have our rosettes. So 3 fun makes, fun projects, all work perfectly together to have the very best New Year's Eve party there is, from decorations to invites to all of the sweet treat fun. So I really hope you enjoyed watching and making along with me today. If you recreate any of these projects, please share some images with me down below or across any of our socials. We'd love to see them, and I'd love to see what you guys create for your New Year's Eve, this party. Have an amazing New Year's, have a safe New Year's, and we will all see you in the new year in 2025 from Sizzix. But until then, stay safe and keep crafting. Thanks. Bye.